Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. So it is finally time to put the car on the dyno, and I'm not gonna do much of voiceover in this video. I'm just gonna leave you guys to enjoy it. But basically we're just preparing it, getting it ready for the dyno, just checking a few things with the fuel system and just making sure that it's gonna be ready basically for the dyno. So enjoy the video.
Like small bucket, which needs something small to put it under to drain water and put ice.
So guys, we are finally on the dyno. We've been after this thing for like 4 or 5 months now. Yeah, roughly 4 or 5 months since we started the build. And this is the most nerve-wracking moment, I would say, for every driver or builder, is getting to the dyno and making sure that everything works in harmony. Of course, this is just the beginning stage, but this point is where you make sure that the heart of the car runs fine. And every driver knows exactly what I'm talking about. So as soon as you put on the dyno and you do like a couple of pulls, 2-3 pulls, and everything checks out and the tuner gives you the thumbs up, that's when you start to finally calm down, and then you start doing some weird stuff to make more power out of it. Well, the good news is that this engine is right around exactly what I want. So backstory is, this engine was built out of parts that I had lying around, and obviously we had to buy some more parts to make a complete engine. It was intended to be a spare engine for my old Pro car, the 350. But it became the candidate for this car. And this engine was designed to be a happy revving engine, lightweight and making lower power than what we ran on the S13. Well, the S13 is just overkill, of course. We're not going that route probably ever again, unless it's like some other form of sport. But for drifting, I'm aiming personally for anywhere between 750 to 900 wheel. I'd like to stay in that mark. Anything beyond that requires me to run more grip. More grip means more stuff to brake, bigger tires. So it's not a good balance. We're going back to our roots. The 350 is a much quicker chassis for me than the S13. We run a smaller tire on it. We run less power, less torque, more manageable RPM. So the torque is instant, but it's not abusive like the S13. So it's easier to put the power down to the ground. We can dial out a bit more grip so that off throttle, the car does what I want. And this is what we aimed for over here. And I'm happy to say that we are right in the ballpark. So our numbers are, this is our first pulley combination. So this is our smallest setup. We only have 2 combinations that we designed for this car. We don't think that we're going to be running the second pulley combination. I think we're just going to be tuning on this combination. Because without running the ice, which is very critical for us, because the ice keeps the IATs much colder. Let me show you over here so you know exactly what I'm talking about. Because that's what we're doing. We usually go to the track with this refrigerator over here, which goes down to -20. And we hold our ice. And then we run right inside here, pointed down there. You can see that's some coolant mixed with some ice, fresh ice. And we bring down our IATs probably to, let's say, around 30 to 40% lower than your ambient temperature. Than the temperature it would run on without the ice. And I would say it would be at or within the same vicinity as your ambient temperature, probably sometimes less if it's summer, like really hot. So right now our dyno pulls, they were giving us IATs of roughly 45 Celsius. So we're trying to drop that down now to like roughly around 30, which will create a denser air mixture, so it will make more power. But without touching the ice, which is the case where we're doing chase and lead, probably my first run would be at a low IAT and the second run would be higher. So we want to see first what it does on its own. So after doing back-to-back pulls, the car managed to lay down roughly 800 wheel horsepower. I'm not so sure about the torque. I literally just came, so I didn't see the curve. But I think I know roughly where it's going to be at, so it's very similar to my 350. It's around 100 wheel more than the 350. And now, because the 350 does 750, but that's after putting the ice and all of that. Without the ice, we're talking about 700. So now what we're going to do is, we're putting the ice, and we're going to see what it's going to do in a perfect scenario, which is something that we simulate at the track. We run the ice in order to get the IATs down and get the maximum we can out of that combination safely. Because once we're dropping the IATs, we're actually creating a better mixture for the engine. The hotter the mixture is, the more chance there's going to be detonation. So this is actually something good. We're making clean power. We're not cramping boost into the engine. And I'm happy to say that the exhaust the headers, the heads, even though this is a semi-budget engine, they still throw great because we're only doing 10 psi on the same pulley combination that does 14 psi on the 350, which means that the engine is exhausting all that carbon easier, so it's a much more comfortable. The more power you can make with less psi or boost, the safer it is. Obviously, you're gonna get more information from Ziad because he is more knowledgeable than me. He is my tuner, and he's the mastermind behind the combination on this engine. His compression ratio, his gapping, his everything. I just put it together, and sometimes he does the putting together. So maybe you want to take a quick look at the dyno graphs once Ziad comes here, and then you can explain it. But anyways, in a bit, we're gonna be doing a couple more pulls, but I'm happy to report the guys, Wissam and Linus, were happy because we don't really have much time to fix any issues. Wissam definitely has a relief. As soon as I parked, I can see his smile all the way up here. Because it's always, we were literally just talking about this yesterday. I really care that I show up to the dyno without any issues, especially on a brand new build. It just shows precision. And thank God we didn't have any issues. No leaks, no headaches, no weird things touching, contacting axles, bearings, whatever, nothing. Everything went smooth and great, and we're almost at the end of our dyno session. We're just gonna do a couple more pulls. We're not gonna run the high boost, as I said, and we're gonna head out. So take a quick look around the car. There are some changes done to it since the last time you saw it. So really excited about it. We're gonna probably be testing it tomorrow. After this, we're gonna go for an alignment session, and I'll show you at the alignment what we do to get this thing set up for a baseline, basically, graph. I'll show you guys once we get to that step. But for now, let's just enjoy this.
guys, so we just finished building this piece of the car. It's actually Nasser's new car for the 2025 season. It's running obviously an LS motor with milling sleeves, long ones, because we are having the 4-inch stroke crankshaft. It's a 6.8 liters in total. It's running a Magnuson supercharger. As you can see, all the good stuff are here, the mil-spec wiring, mil-spec firewall connectors, all the wiring is sealed properly with a Raychem heated tubing and running tefzel wires. As you can see, all the good stuff. So, we came to the dyno after finishing the car. We were hoping, or targeting actually 18 wheel horsepower. For that, we were getting 2 pulleys for the supercharger, and we're waiting to break in the engine and then put the other pulley to get our target. Well, we were actually surprised that at this very start of our tuning session, before getting any more timing or playing around with the boost level or anything, with only 10 psi of boost, we are already reaching our target. 816 wheel horsepower and around 1000 Newton meter of torque. This is my recommended stop level for the GM stock block. It's not an RHS, it's not a 6 volts head, so we decided to stop by the 800 wheel. It's a supercharger motor, it's a supercharged one and not a turbo, so actually the torque is what breaks motors. And that's why we wanted to stop at this level, because we're in a supercharger and we're getting the torque very high down low. As I told you, this engine is a 6.8 liters. We're running high compression, 11.0 to 1 compression. Of course, the car is running on ethanol. 10 psi, more than enough to get to our target with even a mild supercharger tank. Okay, guys, so we see you at the track.